Alright, we got more Beast Deity support today. That can also be considered a budget option. So let's begin. But first, cards from the last few days, which of course will also be part of the reveal stream. We begin with Beast Deity Lift Tortoise. Grade 1 AK power and its skills. Auto rearguard. When placed during your main phase, you may stand one of your Beast Deity units. Beast Deity's playstyle is extra attacks, so they attack during your main phase, so it's very likely that they're going to be rested, but keep this in mind that it says stand one card with Beast Deity in their card name, so it means it doesn't have to be just a rearguard. Second skill, Auto Vanguard Rearguard. When your Vanguard attack hits, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal one grade 3 Beast Deity from among them, put it to your hand, shuffle your deck, and if a card was put this unit to your soul. Don't really like the fact that it has to attack hit for the grade 3 search, and after that you have to put this to soul if you get one, but soul is a resource that you might need, so why not? But the main part of its skill is actually the first one. Next, Beast Deity Typhoon Bird. Grade 2 90 power and its skills act Vanguard Rearguard once per turn. If you have a Vanguard with Beast Deity's card name, cost counterblast 1. Look at top 5 cards to your deck. Call one Beast Deity that is not grade 2 and call it to rearguard. Of course, +1 engines are always pretty good. Now the only gripe I have about this card is that it says not a grade 2, and your main attacking Beast Deity units will most likely be grade 2 other than Luminum Dragon, which is a grade 3. But you should still run this card as it gives you a +1. And now to the Tuesday stream, we're going to start off with some promos. There's 3 of them, with the first one being Cobalt Witch Boo Boo. It's an OTT, grade 2, 9k power and skills. Auto Vanguard. When rolled from a grade 1, discard a card, get Imaginary Gift Protect. So it acts like a grade 3. You get a Protect marker early though. That itself is pretty good. Second skill, Auto Rearguard. When this card attacks, reveal one or more Sentinels from your hand, and for each revealed, this card gets plus 5k for each of those during that battle. Your 1 Protect is guaranteed because they count as Sentinels, if you took Protect 1 anyway, but on average you're going to have at least 2. But honestly, I think it's mainly the first skill that's pretty good because you get your early game PG, which can be helpful, but the second skill is not that great. The second card is Cur Basket Angel. It's an Angel Feather, grade 1, AK power and its skills. Auto Vanguard when players discard a card, draw a card, whatever. But its second skill, Auto Rearguard. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, place this unit into your soul, choose 2 of your rearguards and they get intercept, and they can intercept from the back row. This is actually pretty good for the Makoth Melik deck, because Makoth Melik is all about resurrecting your rearguards, so you want to clear up your board as much as you can. And considering that V-era grade 1s have 10k shield, that could be pretty decent, especially when this card goes to soul because Makoth Melik uses Soul Blast. Might not be too necessary, but still pretty decent. Next, and our last promo, Maiden of Irradiate. Grade 1 AK power and its skills. Count Rearguard. Your opponent cannot choose a token unit in the same column as this unit. I don't think that will matter too much. Second skill, Act Rearguard. Counterblast 1, restless unit, call up to 2 plant tokens to rearguard. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or higher, they also get plus 10k power for the rest of the turn. Alright, it's not too bad. Calls 2 tokens, and then it basically turns itself into a retire fodder because it rests itself. At the same time, not really, because the first skill protects your token from the front row or the back row, depending where you put it. But nonetheless, it's pretty good for giving you some tokens and some extra power, which can be lacking sometimes. And into some overdressed stuff, here is the start deck list for you use Holy Dragon. And what's interesting to me is there is 4 copies of your starter in the deck. Did I forget something, or does Ride deck have to be playsets? But there's also an order card in this deck, which I'm very happy to see because it's actually one of the things I wanted to see more in Overdress, especially now Ride consistency is no longer a problem. And then for the new Overdress mechanic, it's a new ride mechanic for your grade 3s called Persona Ride. How it works is when you ride a grade 3 with the same card name with the Persona Ride icon, you draw a card and during the turn, your front row unit gets plus 10k power. It's fine, it lasts for 1 turn unlike gift markers. But what I don't like about anything relating to Persona is that you have yet to run more than 1 copy of that card in the deck, which will usually cause the card to become more expensive, as you have to run a playset. But it's a trial deck boss card, so it's not a problem to me. Hopefully we will see more of these ride mechanics in Overdress and unique ones. And now to the main event, Beast Deity Ethics Buster. Grade 3 total power, excel, and skills auto Vanguard. When placed or rolled upon, cost discard 2 cards from your hand, stand one of your units with Beast Deity's card name, and attack your opponent's Vanguard with it. At the end of the battle, if that unit did not attack hit, stand that unit. If it attack hits, drive -1 into the end of turn. This will be explained later, but with its second skill, auto Vanguard. When your unit with Beast Deity's card name attacks, cost +1, that unit gets +5k power until the end of turn. Keep in mind, it's not once per turn, and the extra power can be very helpful, especially for your extra attacks. But now time to do some explanation for the first skill. Basically, what you really want to do with your first skill is that once you ride this card, you would use its first skill to choose itself, because it says any Beast Deities, giving you an immediate attack with your Vanguard. In normal circumstances, you would actually want to do this if your opponents have 5 damage, due to the part where if it misses, you stand it back again. But if you happen to write a copy of itself over it, you can use the skill twice, hence why it says stand one of your Beast Deities. Now it will cost you a total of 4 discards, but with your first attack you're going to get your Twin Drive, so you already have your 2 cards set up for, so you already got the second one ready to get restand. And sure, it will be rested during the main phase, which is usually not that great, but that's where Lift Tortoise comes in, because it says it could stand any Beast Deity unit, and that includes your Vanguard. And the second skill of Lift Tortoise also helps because it gives you attack hit pressure. So overall, I would say this card's pretty good. It gives you extra attacks with your Vanguard. Now preferably, you would actually want to use this at the end game because your opponent will be forced to block every single attack. But on the other hand, the extra attack playstyle of Nova Grapplers actually forces your opponent to take damage, because if they allow it to miss, they're just gonna stand again. So that's a lot of pretty decent shenanigans going on. And next week we got Blue Wave Marshal Valeos. Now let's see if this one gets a gift marker as well, because he was a Gyze follower. So that's it for this reveal. What do you think about the new Beast Deity cards? I'll say pretty good. The grade 1 is a must, the grade 2 at least a 2 of, but Ethics Buster itself, well, pretty good. Sure, the cost is not really ideal during your ride phase when you ride it, but it pretty much makes it back with the fact that you can choose itself and get that Twin Drive. And if you happen to ride another one on top of itself, well, that's 3 attacks with your Vanguard right there if the second attack miss. And if you have Lift Tortoise, well, that's 4. So yeah, that's quite a lot of shenanigans right there. And not exactly what I was expecting with Ethics Buster wanting to choose the Vanguard, but I'll take it. But other than that, have a nice day.